Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode. Today we're going to be looking at the game Conquerors Blade. I'm going to be showing you a siege and a brief tutorial and introduction to the game itself. But first off, what is Conquerors Blade? Now, it's a free game on Steam and online. You can go ahead and download it, play completely for free. And what it is a medieval-based game set in a completely made-up world of its own, where you take control of one of 10 different types, 10 or 11 different types of warlords, ranging from swords and shieldsmen, poleaxemen, riflemen, bowmen, glavemen, and all sorts of different weapons and types and abilities. You build up your warlord, you build up your character like any other game, but one thing that sets this game aside from most others is that it has a element of sort of, if you played a Total War or Mount and Blade, you are not only in control of yourself and your cool abilities and armors and weapons, but you also have a unit and a party of different units that you take with you into battle. You have infantry, archers, horsemen, and you lead these units. They are yours, you control them, and you have up to about 50 plus different unit types that you can unlock, build up, upgrade, level up, give different skills to, and lead into battle. Now, there's loads of different types of combat, ranging from humongous field battles to enormous and intense siege battles. You command your troops in all of these. You can fight death matches just between other players and all such things. But your sieges and field armies can consist of 15 against 15 players, all of whom will be leading their own units into battle. So you can imagine it gets quite heated, quite intense. At the moment, at the time of doing this video, Season 7 has just been released, which is the Wolves of Fenrir. And essentially it has a very much Viking-based theme to it at the moment. Now, every time they release a season, they release new units, basically units showing off that kind of theme, that season. So all the units with Season 7 are very much Viking and Nordic-based units. There you have the Sons of Fenrir, the Berserkers, the Shield Maidens, and you can unlock these units and keep them forever. You can also go back and do challenges to unlock units from previous seasons had you missed out on them. You've got flamethrowers, sort of troops like that, which you get from the Byzantium sort of era. They also have very heavily shielded knights that you can take and unlock with you. So you have unlimited sources of new units, new weapons and new armors that you can unlock and take with you into battle. Obviously, you can form up a clan and you can even form up a kingdom. Get all your friends together, meet new communities, meet new people, and form alliances. And the best part about this is you can take to the open world as well. There is an absolutely enormous world out there. There's only a few servers, so there's a lot of people, but you can own territory, you can own entire counties of land, you can own fiefs, castles, towns, trading posts, farms, all sorts, and you can take full control over those and move around the actual in-world map. So not all the combat is based on just selecting a new matchmaking and then going into another siege. You can take the fight to the open world, engage players at your own pace. Just go ahead and attack people, and then you can go into field battles that way, and you can have even more intense battles just out of random luck, or going to seek them out. They also have territory wars that happen every now and then, and loads of events that are constantly ongoing. It's a really, really immersive game. It's absolutely brilliant, and like I said, it's completely free, so you can get on here and start playing it straight away, and it's great fun. I'm having absolutely loads of fun with it. There's so many different cultures that you can play with as well. So many different troop types, so many different ways to play. Every battle is honestly very different. There's so many maps, and it's just a great fun game. Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. So yeah, other than that, I'm going to go through the tutorial. I'm going to go through a basic introduction and just show you the how to start, and then we'll get into a siege battle straight away after that, and I'll show you just briefly how it works, a little bit of footage, a little bit of gameplay, using my own skills. But like I said, make sure to download this. There's so much you can do in this, so many different options. You're really not limited. There's so much you can do in this. So make sure to check it out, guys. The link will be in the description down below. And make sure to join me on Discord as well. If you do consider downloading this, maybe you haven't tried it out before, then make sure to send me a message as well, and we can play a few games together. Otherwise, guys, enough being said, let's jump into the introduction. All right, see you in a moment. So, okay, the next thing we're going to be looking at is the character customization. So, once you load up the game, connect to a server, you're going to be met with this message. Step forward, stranger, be welcomed into this war-torn land. We're going to click to begin. We're going to hit the next stage, and obviously with most games you have your preset male or female. Nothing really changes, obviously, due to the characters, except for the armor you wear and what presets you can pick. But you have your face presets, your hair colour, eyebrows, lips, skin tone, tattoos, scars, facial hair, all sorts. You get a fair few facial presets, obviously with varying culture backgrounds. You have your sort of Nordic Viking, your Eastern Asian horse lord, all sorts of different cultures. You've got some really cool presets here as well, but you can go with like a Viking-y sort of style. Give yourself a nice long Viking beard with some good face paint. There we go, look at that. Beautiful. Now, it's quite nice that you don't take too long to sort of sort out your character. There, look at that. Beautiful. Give him some scars too. Lovely stuff. Yeah, so we can. That's the first thing. You just make your character. It doesn't take too long because obviously you've got a certain amount of presets. Not too much. Obviously you can't change ridiculous amounts of things, but you don't need to. So it's nice and fast. You just create a character. You sign in your name. And we'll just go with that. I spelt it wrong there, but it doesn't matter. And then we get our next stage. The warm sunlight shines upon this earth as you silently pray. May wisdom, courage, and faith always guide you. We'll load up to our next bit, and then what we'll be setting up next is our weapons and classes, which we're going to run through one by one. So obviously you have your tutorial, your training yard, but it's not too elongated. It's not too stressful. You have your two modes. We're just going to go with cinematic. They're not too different. You don't have to worry about them. If we just go into view weapons, here we go. So we have all of our classes within the game, and it runs through all your basic skills, but these aren't all of your skills. You will have more to unlock and develop further along. These are just the first ones that the game gives you. So if we have a look at our easy classes, we have the basic sword and shield. We have a two-handed glaive, nice decent weapon there. We have a long sword and shield. Wait, what's the difference there? So we have a short sword and shield. So yeah, much more Western style with this. Yeah, it says it even there. So this is much more knightly. So you're probably looking at, with the long sword and shield, a more heavy armor, whereas the short sword you're probably looking at more light armor to medium armor. So you'll be a lot faster, but obviously you won't pack as much of a punch, and probably won't be able to defend the bigger hits like this guy will be able to. Yeah, so it seems like he's a lot more of a defensive character. Lots more defensive attacks, whereas he's a lot more aggressive. Yeah, probably that's like a shield charge. But yeah, and next we have our spear. Very long range, high wielding, very fast moving. Again, these are the easy classes. Probably very, very good for just these. The easy classes are probably much more built for defense, because you have sword, shield, long-handed weapon, sword and shield, long two-handed weapon. So they're probably your basic defending weapons. Very good for siege battles. Probably, actually, no, so very better for field battles. So next we're moving into our range. Now they're more moderate because obviously you've got to have a more decent aim. But we have our musket, which is the only firearm weapon that you can wield. So it's a very slow, medium-ranged weapon. But you have some scatter shots abilities. You have flame abilities, and a lot of explosive abilities as well. You get grenades with them as well. So you're going to be very good at taking out enemy troops and enemy characters at long range. So very good character for sieges, especially assaults and defences, which are the only sieges there are. But you'll be able to pick off characters. You'll be able to pick off their troops before you even get onto the wall. Same if you're defending. You'll be able to pick off the enemy characters and their troops before they can actually mount your walls. Same thing with the short bow. We have short bow and a long bow, or just a bow. But that is obviously a larger bow. So again, it's like the short sword and the long sword. So you have the very fast, very quick, very easy but short range, and then you have the very long range, slow but more powerful weapon. And that's why it's labelled difficult, because it's going to be a lot slower. You're not going to be able to shoot as fast, but your hits are going to do a lot more damage. We're not going to go run through every single one of their abilities, but obviously you've got a poison shot, so you can inflict long-lasting damage against your enemy. You've got multi-shoots, where you can jump back and release a whole load of arrows. So if you're trying to make a nice getaway, that's always good. Much more supporting characters, the rangers, so you can't really do much on your own, but if you're with somebody who's got maybe a sword and shield and can do a nice level of defense in front of you while you can shoot around them, that's a very good tactic to work. Now we have the poleaxe, which is what I use. Very heavy armor with this, so you're very slow moving, but you deal huge amounts of damage. You are very good against any infantry that come your way, and you can kind of deal area of effect damage as well. So you can take on multiple heroes at the same time, and you can deal a lot of damage using your combinations. Now, this is definitely one of my personal favourites. I do love two-handed weapons. As much as I love using the sword and shield, you get a good poleaxe or a glaive in there, and you can really start to slash around, do a lot of damage, and hit a lot of people at the same time. Really, you can clear big areas quite nicely, whereas these other sort of weapon types, you're more focusing one against one. Whereas this, you can just charge in there, proper tank-like, and just start smacking people about. It's great fun. Obviously, bow, I've not really looked into the ranges too much. I would love to. We've got dual blade, so this is more of a stealthy character. Very, very fast moving, very light armor, but you can actually even go invisible with this guy, so you can get into some decent positions. You can sneak around your enemies and inflict a massive amount of damage if they don't know that you're there. As it says, we've got assassins and infiltrators, so it's very good to flank your enemies, to get around them. Very good at taking single heroes on. And last but not least, we have our samurai sword, the Nodaki. It's a two-handed sword, very long. Deals very wide amounts of damage. It's probably one of the best weapons you can use hero to hero. It does very massive amounts of damage, and it does a lot of stunning attacks, so you can really make them stop attacking you. Very, very, very powerful weapon, very good fun to use. But like I said, I stick with the poleaxe personally. But yeah, all sorts of different weapons. These are all your classes, and like I said, these aren't just the only skills you can have. I know I haven't run through them, but there are massive trees to all of the weapon types you've got. These are just your presets. Obviously, you can change your armor and your weapons as well, making everything better and more suited to your playstyle. So you don't have to go for the armor types that they want you to have. You could be a longsword and shield guy with very light armor. It's entirely your style, but obviously it's built to have the heavy armor, slow moving, and deal a lot of damage. But like I said, you've got your more defensive, and you've got your more offensive characters as well. So it depends on how you want to play or who you're playing with. If you've got a few people you want to play with, maybe you can communicate as to which classes you want to go around. But for example, let's just go with the sword and shield. Nice and easy one, nice and simple. There we go, we've got a weapon. So we're going to have our target, we're going to have to go and destroy. Combat is very simple. It's right click to block, and then obviously left click to stab. And we've got all of our abilities down at the bottom there, including our healing ability, which you get every minute once you've used. But we've got Q, E, R and T are all our decent moves, so let's just use our normal attack. Attack the dummy, deal a decent bit of damage, nice and easy to destroy. And we've got this character over here who we're going to have to use our abilities against, so we can start sparring. And if you double tap the movement keys, you get to roll, which it tells you one of the first things. It's going to be one of the more essential things you need to do. Roll away from your enemy, get a few good hits in. He's going to block it. We'll try our first ability. There we go. It's a double slash, so nice big damage dealing hit. Didn't get a full look at the E ability. If we go ahead and dodge that, we use our R. Another double slash. So it seems a lot of our abilities are double slashes, but I managed to get some health back from that, which is interesting. So we can heal up. I managed to miss that. Fortunately, let's use our Q again. Get a nice double slash in. You managed to roll away from me that time. Let's finish it off with a good T. Oh, didn't quite do enough. A lot of rolling around. Getting mullered. There we go, and we've beaten him. So what it's going to do now is we're going to have to pick another class. So you can choose it before you leave the tutorial. You can pick any class, and you can change at any point. But obviously, the first one you pick is you have to pay to change them. It doesn't cost a whole lot, but you obviously will start putting your skill points and abilities. So if you do decide to change after having picked one, it can be a fair bit slower. Now, if we go ahead and we'll pick a short bow and just show off one of the ranged weapons. So it's literally, you don't even get to aim, you can just hold it and fire away. Nice and simple. Now if we go and talk to him, we'll start our next round of sparring. Once he's in position, and we can start firing straight away. We can keep on the move, keep him at bay. And he won't even be able to hit us, so we can just keep hitting him. This guy doesn't roll either, he kind of just slides back. We didn't actually use any of our abilities, so if we can attack him again, we will. I don't think we can. So what we're going to do now is it's going to take us to the riding school, where we can use our bow on horseback. Because yes, you can use your horse at any point during the battle, although they're not amazingly fast. They are still faster than you are, and still good for getting away. So you have the two options of steering with your mouse or your keys. Because I play a lot of Bannerlord, I'm going to go with steer with keys. It's just easier for me. And we'll go ahead and move forward. And you can hold shift to sprint. And yeah, move around a lot quicker. So we can hit our targets very easily from horseback. Probably quite a good thing to be. I mean, you can just hold it down. You don't even have to worry about really missing. You can just keep going nice and fast there. Take your targets out very, very quickly. And then the last thing that we should be looking at here is our troops. So obviously another major part of this game is being able to control a unit. So you're never going to be alone. You're always going to have your men with you. Now it's going to give us our last chance to pick a weapon. I don't think we get to do the tutorial for the units here, but I'll show you that in a second next. We'll stick with the bow, I think. It's good fun to use, so we'll stick with that for this character, and then we'll move on. So we'll jump ahead and get to the unit control next, and I'll show you a tutorial on that as well. And hopefully we'll get to show off some of our bow abilities, but we're going to have to watch this cutscene. So I'll just let this play out and then I'll skip ahead to the unit control. Right, here we go guys, so we're loading up a siege and we're going to be on the assaulting side. So we're taking on this castle and our objective is to capture it. As you can see, I spawn in with my unit here. So we've got some nice, well shielded infantry, all swordsmen. We've got some cannons that we can mount and start to use if we need to, but in this case we're not going to. So we have our three main abilities. On the left it shows you at all points. You can turn it off if you want to, but it's not too big so it doesn't really stick out in the way. But we have X, which we can use to form our men into exact positions. We can turn that using the WASD keys, and we can use our scroll wheel to change their formations. Now this unit just has the two formations. That's all we've got for these guys, but we've also got keys 1 and 2 abilities. 1 being a forward charge, and 2 being a protect me command. So they're going to follow with me and stay in a circular formation, make sure that whatever happens, they protect me. So very good if you're somebody like an archer or a ranged unit. So you can take your hits, you can take your hits out of the circle and they'll protect you, making sure no one can get in and actually attack you. So we're going to go ahead and capture point A, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to send my infantry into a frenzied charge, get them to support the our friendly units here. Now we've got a hero over there who's also using a bow and arrow skill, so we can just loose arrows. We don't have to worry about hitting our own men because that's not something that you can do in this game. Very fortunately, we'll send a poison arrow in that direction. There we go, doing a lot of poison damage to him, and there we go, he's down there. And we've captured the objective, so now we need to move on to the next one. Obviously this being a tutorial, it's very simple. It's not this easy during multiplayer sieges. It can get very, very difficult. As you can see, there's lots of different defences all along the wall. And normally you'll be assaulting it with siege towers, battery rams and all sorts. But again, we can make sure that our infantry is on us at all times. They're going to be quite far back there because I haven't been moving them forward with me, but we'll get them back up to us. We can send them into a charge so they can push forward. We can push that way, but there's nowhere to go that way. It's just taking out enemy infantry. But what we'll do is we'll set up a formation and block them here. So they'll come into us. We've set up a shield wall, though we're not facing the right direction. There we go. We'll send them into a charge, kill this infantry here, and then move on our way. So we could go over there and take out the archers that are buggering us. But we don't need to. We're just going to keep pushing forward. As you can see in the bottom left, we've got a whole load of bars. That shows the health of each of our individual units. So we know how well they're doing, if we need to get them out of here, or if we need to go and heal them. So we just loosed a few more arrows there. Let's just use our abilities, send off some nice arrows against these heroes. T just seems to be a roll away, I think. Send off another poison arrow, poison him. And send our men into another charge. We can't, we've got to wait for the cooldown, but only a couple more seconds. Now my infantry is cutting through them quite quickly, quite nicely. We're taking a lot of them out. We've got some pole arms here. If they were in a phalanx, it would have been very hard to get through. Even though they've got no armour, obviously they do a hell of a lot of damage. That's the problem with these guys. So we'll just send our guys into an attack, doing their own thing. They'll start getting kills. As you can see, it tells me how many kills me and my men have got collectively. We can just hold the key down. We don't even have to get in there. We can stay nice and far away using our ability. Sending some nice arrows. Doing a decent amount of damage with each shot, which is good. That was an assist, and obviously we're cutting up the rest of them here. And they're going to start to run once they get small enough. So this is a supply point, which is really vital. The quicker you can take these out from your enemy teams, the less men that they'll be able to field, and the quicker you'll be able to get your formations into combat. So you can heal your men up, heal yourself up at these positions. As you can see, my men are starting to heal up. A lot of them are quite damaged. We've lost a fair few of them. And we can also change our unit. So if we want a formation of archers, pikemen, spear infantry, we can go ahead and change. So what we're going to do is we're going to probably select the halberdiers. We just got to wait in the circle for a few moments. Usually you select your unit and then just start healing. And our infantry are going to run away. If we need them, we can get them back at any point. They won't be at full health until the next battle. So we can get our pikemen into position, and then we're going to send them into a charge where they're going to lower their spears, charge in, and deal massive amounts of damage to our enemy here. Then we can start to take out these archers. I'm hitting more walls than I am archers. There we go. And we can capture another supply point. Get our men into a position just in case the enemy does push our forces back. And then we can get them into a phalanx formation. So if anyone does come down these stairs, they won't be lasting very long at all. Right, we'll get our men to push on me, push into this next square, and this is the enemy camp. So this is the final objective. Once we capture this, we win the siege. But this is obviously the hardest one to take. Now you also you can call in trebuchet strikes. You can call in one per siege. But you have to bear in mind, although it's very, very useful, it can take out a huge chunk of the enemies. If you use it right, it also affects your friendlies. So you can kill your friend's forces by calling in the trebuchet strike at the wrong time. So you've got to be very careful about how you use it. We'll send our men in there and start clearing up the rest of them. Take the last few men out. So again, if there's a certain culture that you like within this game, if you absolutely love your Vikings, your Nords, or if you love your Asian horse lords like the Mongols, anything like that, you can select all of your units to resemble them. You can have all of your units be of that sort of culture and play exactly how you would like to play. Any culture you can kind of mould your character and units around, so you can really be a lot more immersed within the game and fight for the history that you find the most fascinating or the most interesting. For me, they've only just introduced the Nordic with the Vikings and their forces, but I absolutely love that history. I think is brilliant. Obviously the whole culture around them is fantastic. Obviously you've got your Byzantine forces as well, your very imperial Western forces, and obviously you've got a lot of your Asian, Mongol, Chinese sort of forces as well. So you can really mould your warband, your party around the culture that you find the most fascinating. You get to pick your first few units. Obviously pick very wisely. These are going to be really strong units for you to begin the game with. Obviously you can get some ranged, you can get some very strong infantry as well. Got iron cap swordsmen, spearmen, so you can mould your playthrough. I mean, ideally these are the first few units you're going to be getting. You can only pick 3 of these guys, and then you get to pick 1 elite unit. So it's probably best that you go with a spear and infantry, and then maybe a ranged, so either the riflemen or the archers. Probably these guys. They have less ammo, but they do a lot more damage. And then we get to select 1 very elite unit, which in this case will probably be halberdiers. Very defensive units, so very good in defensive sieges. And then you get your final little cutscene here, and it'll take you to the end. And then the last thing you get to do is pick a region in which you start. Now each of these regions have sub-regions. As you can see, it says there's 16 towns, 31 villages and 4 fortresses. Now this is more to do with territory wars, which comes at a later stage in the game. So you won't be doing that for quite some time, but it's all to do with clans. It opens up every now and then, and it's just basically humongous wars to claim territory in the open world. But we'll jump into that at a later date because it gets a little bit more complicated, and like I said, you won't be doing that straight away. That'll be something that comes along a lot later on. So yeah, we get to pick our 2 regions. The troops that we get change depending on the regions. As you can see, Zycalian militia, Sipahi cavalry, and it seems a lot more Asian based. Not entirely sure. We've got winged hussars. So I've gone to Astaria before, so we'll go for this one and have a look at the differences here. But this is your last stage for the tutorial, and then from this point onwards you are in the game. So the next thing that I'll probably do is I'll show you a bit of siege gameplay. I'll walk you through the whole siege with my other character, which will be the next thing we will show you. But we just get into the town, have a jump around here, and have just a little look. So all these guys, they're all players you can have a chat with, duel with, trade with, all sorts. You can do absolutely anything with all these guys. They're all real people. Like I said, you can leave, you just have to go to the Watchman and you can enter the open world. You can visit plenty of other towns. There's absolutely loads. You can go into every single one of them. You can go into all trading posts. You can even go into the farms and quarries in the open world. You can buy armor, make weapons, buy new units, build new units, set up your new parties. Every village and town you go to has a different set of units which you can then explore through their trees and have a look. Unfortunately, we can't go into the unit tree until we're level 3, so I can't show you all the bits there, but I will once we finish the siege in the next part of the video. But that's it for the tutorial, guys. That's all the character and the customization that you get initially. So like I said, the next thing we'll do is we'll jump into a siege, so I'll see you guys in a moment. Okay boys, here we go. So we've just loaded up into a siege and we're going to be on the defending force. We have our preset 4 units here. We've even got 1 mercenary. If we can add a few more, change it around a little bit more, which we might do, you know. I think we're going to possibly remove our mercenaries there and add in some more infantry.
We serve with honor.
Yeah, so we'll take him. So we've got our very strong infantry. We've got our halberdiers, which we're going to need pretty much straight away. So we're going to select him. We've got our archers and a lot of sword infantry to use in case we get pushed back. So next thing we need to do is pick a objective to spawn at. I usually flank on the right hand side, protect the B objective. As you can see here, we've also got a lot of siege equipment that we can pick from. We're just going to take our well-made cannons for the start. We can always go back to a supply point and pick up another one later. But yeah, I'm going to take my pikemen in. As you can see, I have a theme of going for very westernized troops. Once I unlock the better ones, I will have much more like Knights Templar kind of forces, a lot more halberdiers and sword and shield infantry, and a lot less range. I probably won't have any range when I can build a full party, and just focus on having infantry. They work with me the best, I find, because I'm always trying to focus on eliminating the enemy units. Rather than targeting heroes, I just try and protect objectives by removing what units they have with them. Quite a mixed balance of people in this lobby. There's a few very high levels, a few medium levels. I'm not massively high level. I think my actual level is only 30 and my season level is 20. Okay, I'm not doing too bad. I'm quite high up there. I've not played that many games. I've played quite a few, but not hundreds. You know, probably up to my 10th. Maybe just over. I played a lot of expeditions, a lot of versus AI lobbies, and a couple of player versus player. But what we're going to do is once we've spawned in here, we're going to get our guys into a well-defended area so they're not going to be hit by the enemy cannons and whatnot, but we're going to make sure that we secure some ladders or siege engines, like siege towers and other things like that, that can be a major threat. We could try and protect the gate, but they don't usually hit that. Siege towers usually hit the gates first, and most of the time our friends will take out the battering rams. But the main threat is the ladders and the siege towers. The ladders because some people just kind of forget where they are. and you'll find that they sneak past. So like I said, first things first, we're going to get our men down onto these stairs here. Just means they're going to be protected from the cannon fire. In fact, I want them a little bit lower. This guy's doing the same thing, because we're going to be taking a lot of firepower from the enemy cannons and archers. So we just want to make sure that our unit is secured and we don't lose any of them. We've got 2 cannons firing at the siege tower. It's already on fire, so it probably will go down very shortly. I could set my cannon up here, but there's not much need for it. I think there's 2 sections of ladders, so we've got 1 set of ladders down there on the left, and there should be another set just below me there. And I think that's all the ladders that can form up here. But obviously we've got a few heroes. There's 4 of us here protecting the area. Guys just set up a ballista, firing at the siege tower. So that'll probably go down before it reaches the wall, which means they'll probably just try and use some ladders to get up here. But we'll have to see. If we've got a good team, they should hopefully communicate and chat a lot, and basically spot where we're losing. So if the enemy breaks onto that wall over there, hopefully somebody will put it in the chat pretty much straight away, and we'll know that we need to go over there and reinforce it. But as you can see, the siege tower's been taken out there, so the cannons are going to start firing on the units. Now these guys don't really want to push for the ladders. They're going to use the siege towers as much as possible. Getting a fair bit of incoming fire from the cannons over there. And looks like they've taken out our cannons. So their siege tower is pushing up a lot here. Looks like they've taken out our cannons. So we're probably not going to be able to bring it down. So what we could do is we could get our men into position to basically get ready for that tower. But if we do that, we're leaving this side completely free to attack. And they might sneak up on the ladder. So I'm going to keep my men there. But I myself am going to go and try and protect this siege tower and try and defend against it. If it gets too hectic, we'll bring our men over. But just for the meantime, we're going to leave them there, just in case the enemy does sneak up. At least we've got some force protecting the area. So as soon as we start losing B, we can send them into a charge. I could sit them on B, but like I said before, I don't want to risk them getting shot too much. So it's time to get off the horse. I pressed the wrong button. But they should hopefully, they're in attack position and they're holding. So if anyone does climb up, they should go and charge straight away. So the main gate's been destroyed. There's 2 levels of gates. So that means that the front's been destroyed and now they can push through to the second. I don't know what just happened there. Managed to fall off the wall somehow. Let's not repeat that. Let's try and get back up there as quick as we can. It's looking like we might actually need to protect the gate. Okay, it looks like we might actually have to protect the gate here. They might need us here a little bit more. Go in there, let's just keep jumping back, make sure they don't push through too much. Get some decent hits in, just try and push them back as much as we can. As soon as our boys are here, we should be able to do a lot more damage to them. Yeah, they're trying to bring through quite a few forces. Got a lot of infantry here holding them, but we don't have enough men, we need a lot more. And the siege tower, it looks like it's moving towards B on the map down there in the bottom left, so hopefully we can get someone over there. Like I said, my men are setting up here. And they should hopefully be holding a phalanx, which we are. So that should hold the enemy back for quite some time. I need to get out of here. I'm going to die. I need to run around the corner quickly and heal up. My men are holding. They're in a phalanx formation, so hopefully they should hold the enemy here for quite some time. Taking a bit of archer fire, it looks like, but we've only lost 2 men. So hopefully they can hold their position. I might run up to B because it doesn't look like we've got any friendlies in the area. Right, let's move our men. They've set up a cannon, so we need to pull all the men out of there. And we're going to head over to B objective now because their siege tower has actually made it onto the objective, and it doesn't look like we've got anyone in the area protecting it. So let's get over there. Let's get our men in position. We've got 2 guys up here. I managed to miss my shot, unfortunately. The guy just tried to attack me even though we're on the same team. We can hit the enemy from behind, do a big chunk of damage there. Obviously we're very outnumbered, so we want to be quite careful. Got infantry in the area, so let's send them into a charge, see if we can do some damage. And push them back a little bit. One of their leaders is dead there, perfect. So now we just got to push through, drive them back, hopefully recapture that siege tower, stop them from breaking in. Getting a lot of kills with our infantry here, which is perfect. And obviously the enemy's still facing the wrong direction, so we can get behind them. They're retreating, which means their leader has died as well, so beautiful. We can cut them up, absolutely slaughter them. Every single unit we kill affects the rest of the game. So every single person that we take down is one less person for the enemy to bring in. If you hold down the tab and get a view of the score and the settings, it actually tells you how many men they have left to bring in. Obviously we've got 300 more than they have at the moment, so we're actually winning this quite massively at the moment. And there we go, we've managed to secure B. So we've got to keep eyes on the gate. Luckily we've got good eyes on. They have managed to secure the wall over there, so A could be at threat at the moment. We're just going to focus on protecting B. I'm not going to leave it again like last time. I think I wasn't paying attention. I think my guys have pushed it forward a little bit too much there, so we might actually lose what men we have. Hopefully not. No, we have. We definitely don't have enough. Unfortunately, we're going to have to say goodbye to these guys, but let's see if we can do a bit of damage first. The few that we have left. There we go. They're all gone. So I need to get a new unit myself. Once I know the area is secure, I can head to a nearby supply point and get a new unit, which is what we're going to do now. So we're just going to head away, and then we're going to pick up some more men. Luckily, it's literally just down here, so which is perfect for us. And we can heal up as well whilst we're here. We'll probably take our infantry in next, I reckon. And then we can heal up. A objective is doing fine. Obviously, we know that that wall has been attacked and isn't very secure. We've just got to make sure we keep eyes on B because it is halfway captured by the enemy. And once they start capturing it, it doesn't go back down. It does stay like that. So obviously, we've got to be very careful. I think our team has gone a little bit overboard with protecting it now. And it seems that everyone is here. Ah, they are beginning to capture A. Yeah, that's the problem. Everyone's come over here now, so we need to run back to A, which is currently being captured. Which probably means it's been overrun. They're capturing a supply point on that side. So we've really not done a very good job. We've let them slip through quite well. Yep, A is lost. Once you lose one objective, it means that they can flank the second. So that's never good. Let's form a nice shield wall here and try and protect the supply point for as long as we can. Not sure what my men are doing there. They should be in guard mode. They seem to be running away there. We managed to drive the enemy towards us. Right, we'll just push forward. Looks like guard mode is not working for us here. Just managed to escape my ability there. I could have knocked her down, but unfortunately I missed my opportunity. Let's try and bring this guy down. Attack him as much as we can. Losing most of our men there, but we held them. Trying to use our units as much as possible. Everyone's managed to set up their archers, which is good. Even if we have to sacrifice a unit just to buy our friends time to get to a position, it's worth it. In the end, we want to win, hold this position. We've got more infantry to bring in, we've got loads of men, and that's what they're for. We don't really need to secure this area anymore. We probably need to keep eyes on B. We can't really recapture the gate or the wall because it's been a bit long, so they're probably getting their forces up on those walls at the moment. We might be able to. There's a lot of archers up there, so I could take my men, try and flank around, take those guys out if I possibly can. If we can take out a whole unit of archers, that'll do a big blow to the enemy. Still haven't seen me yet, so hopefully I can. Wait for my men to get a little bit closer and then we'll charge forward to them. Nobody coming at our siege tower just yet, so we've got time. Let's charge, see if we can take this unit out. He's occupied on the sword and shield guy there. So like I said, we'll just push forward. Infantry can help me out here. I'm taking a lot of the arch fire. But there we go. Pretty much destroyed that force. Took a lot of hits myself, so let's get into a nice secure position. Heal up. Nice and protected here, so we're absolutely fine. Still got our guys coming up the wall. And we're nice and close to B, although they are capturing C, which will open up the final objective if they do that. So we might have to abandon B completely. See, the guy there has put in C in chat, so we know that we need to get over there. A lot of our team seems to still be trying to protect the gate. Yeah, there's no way we can't capture C back at this point. That's completely lost. And there we go. So they've opened up our final objective. So our mission now is we need to get over there. We might have to sacrifice our unit just so that we ourselves can then get to the final objective. Knock this guy down, get a few good hits in against him. And there you go, he's going to escape there. Our men won't be able to break through that, but we might be able to escape. Possibly not. Our teammates just abandoned us there. But yeah, can't really save our unit, so we'll just have to let them be. I'm being hit from behind by somebody. I thought I was at least. Let's help our guys out here so we can help them retreat. But we do definitely need to pull back to the final objective instead of focusing on these last few guys here. Some archer fire coming in from down there. Like I said, my infantry has been fully defeated. There's not a whole lot we can do about that. We can kind of get eyes on the map and see what the enemy's doing. It looks like they haven't reached the camp just yet, but it might be a good idea to get over there now. Better to be there early and make sure that we win the game rather than get there too late and have already lost. So let's head back. They've actually captured the supply point behind it, so we need to go and capture that back because that's going to mean the end for us. What that means is they can constantly spawn new troops right behind our final objective, which they have done. Or at least this one guy. It seems to be only the one, so it might not be too bad at the moment, but it could get a lot worse. So let's see if we can hit a lot of his men here. Hitting a lot of them in one, so that's good. The more we can damage, the easier it will be. Let's just keep chasing him while our guy captures the supply point back, which he has done there. And he's capturing the final objective. There you go, he's knocked me off my horse. He might kill me here, but I can try and hold position for as long as possible. Stop him from capturing it, even if I don't engage him directly. Try and kill his men. Not good, but we can use our abilities. So certain abilities of ours, once we get knocked down, we can use to get back up. Obviously, I'm very weak. But we just need to try and stay in the circle. Stop him from capturing it as long as possible. I'm really not sure where our teammates are at the moment. Missed our ability there, unfortunately. And they're pouring through, so I think we might have lost this game. I don't think we're going to win at this point. We have absolutely no reinforcements. And they've got 2 units on the final objective. So yeah, a lot of our guys are still protecting B for some reason. So I think we have lost this. I'm trying to hold it, but I'm going to die at any moment now. We might just, by the skin of our teeth, get somebody over here. I don't know, but that's me done. So they're capturing it. And I think that's us losing the battle from here onwards. So I don't know where our team are. I don't know if they're still trying to defend like the lower levels. They are. Everyone's trying to defend the supply point down here. Completely oblivious to the fact that we're about to lose our final objective. Although this guy is right here, so he might be able to recapture it. But it just seems like too many of them are pouring through. That's me, I can respawn. So I've left myself with 2 very poor options, but not that it matters, we've been defeated there, unfortunately. So as much as we tried, we fought nice and hard. We got ourselves a grade S, so we contributed a lot to the game. We came in second to the top there. 165 unit kills. We managed to kill 1 character, got 4 assists, and we died once during that entire siege. Got 1 guy here with 209 kills, but like I said, yeah, look, most of our characters here didn't participate much, so they weren't really defending many of the positions. We desperately tried to protect it. I was trying to stay alive for as long as I could on that point, but as soon as the second unit came in, I had run out of space, and that was me done for. Might have been better if I'd had spawned in another unit, but it would have only bought me a couple of more seconds. Without our friends actually coming back, retreating, there was no hope. Probably would have been better if I hadn't sacrificed my units to just kill a few archers. Probably could have played that a little bit more tactically, but it is what it is, and we've lost. So, yeah, unfortunately, but that's what happens. It was still a good defense. The enemy played really well there. They did a really good job. And there we go. We can have a look at the post-battle analysis, so have a look at where they poured through. It's always good so you can learn how to play for your next game. I mean, I think we did sort of the best that we really could there. Defended all the major objective points that we could. But yeah, we can have a look so that for the next time we're on this map, we can kind of grasp a good idea. As you can see, a lot of them poured through towards B. But once they opened up the main gate and started flooding through, once they took C, that was it. Nobody was over there defending, so they could just pour through that gate into the final objective. And everyone was still trying to defend B as best they could instead of pulling back. You kind of got to know when to cut your losses, when to pull back. As great as it is still having B captured, it doesn't matter if we're not defending the final objective. So yeah, awesome. It was still a good game. Units got a lot of kills. Halberdiers did a brilliant job. There we go, they got 96 kills themselves. Swordsmen didn't do too great. These prefecture guards did alright, not great again, but they still contributed a fair amount. Like I said, we could have used them a lot better. Which units you use and which ones you take in certain positions really does kind of make or break the battle. So we could have done a lot better there. But yeah, ultimately that's the first siege. I'll try and cover another one, definitely. We'll run through a few more battles, a few more siege battles, a few more field battles maybe, and I'll start showcasing different things on the actual channel. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this episode, guys. Make sure to check this game out. Make sure to go ahead and join me on Discord as well. If you've got any suggestions, comments, tips, anything like that, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. Like I said, make sure to go ahead and join me on Discord. The link is in the description and on the channel banner. The channel banner. Just join us on there and have a chat. And if you fancy playing this with me, or fancy joining my team, or creating a team together, we can go ahead and do that, and that'll be great fun. Just so let me know. Drop a comment or go ahead and join me on Discord. Like I said, make sure to subscribe already. As well, if you haven't already, just supports the channel out massively, and you can keep up to date with all the content that's going to be coming out. Otherwise, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this episode. Please check out the game. It is great fun, and let me know once you have as well, and we can all play together and have a lot more fun. Otherwise, guys, I will see you in the next episode. Have a good one. Goodbye.